My humble pranams to Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji. Hari Om. We begin today's program by invoking the Lord's grace and blessings. I request Mrs. Geeta Ganesh to render the invocation song.
படைத்தவனை எண்ணி சுகிர்த்ததுண்டோ ஒரு நாளைக்கொரு தரம் ஒரு நொடி பொழுதேனும் உன்னை படைத்தவனை எண்ணி சுகிர்த்ததுண்டோ ஒரு நாளைக்கொரு தரம் எண்ணி சுகிர்த்ததுண்டோ ஒரு நாளைக்கொரு தரம் நாளும் கிழமையன்று நல்லவர் உரைத்தாலும் நாளும் கிழமையன்று நல்லவர் உரைத்தாலும் நாளைக்கு ஆகட்டும் வேலையதிகமென்பார் நாளும் கிழமையன்று நல்லவர் உரைத்தாலும் நாளைக்கு ஆகட்டும் வேலையதிகமென்பார் பாழும் பணத்தை தேடி படும் பாடு கணக்கில்லை பாழும் பணத்தை தேடி படும் பாடு கணக்கில்லை பகவானை எண்ண மட்டும் அவகாசம் உனக்கில்லை பகவானை எண்ண மட்டும் அவகாசம் உனக்கில்லை ஒரு நாளைக்கொரு தரம் ஒரு நொடி பொழுதேனும் உன்னை படைத்தவனை எண்ணி சுகிர்த்ததுண்டோ ஒரு நாளைக்கொரு தரம்
Thank you, ma'am, for the melodious rendering. The Chinmaya education movement is one of the most important contributions of Chinmaya mission to the society, envisaged by Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji. Puja Gurudev was a visionary. He knew that children are the cream of our generation and are the rulers and makers of tomorrow. The movement, as of now, encompasses 92 Vidyalayas, 8 colleges, 8 vision schools, and an international residential school. The first school, which was started in Chennai by Chinmaya Mission, is Chinmaya Vidyalaya Taylor's Road. Chinmaya Vidyalaya Taylor's Road marked its beginning with the meager strength of 30 students at 13th Avenue, Harrington Road, on 20th October 1968. The school has grown tremendously over the years and has now got a strength of 2,137 students and 95 teachers. Chinmaya Vidyalaya Virugambakam had its humble beginning at Community Hall, Chinmaya Nagar, Stage 1, in October 1970 with the blessings of our Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda. The foundation stone for Chinmaya Vidyalaya Ananagar was laid by the great visionary, His Holiness Swami Chinmayananda Ji, on 1st January 1989. The school started functioning with a strength of 11 students and 4 faculty members. The school has carved a niche for itself in terms of being one of the best schools in the city. VGN Chinmaya Vidyalaya is a new chapter in the stream of Chinmaya Vidyalayas run in Chennai. It was gloriously incepted on 19th June 2011 by His Holiness Swami Mitrananda. Chinmaya Vidyalayas stand unique in intertwining education with values and thereby providing value-based education to the children. We will now have the chanting of the Guru Paduka Stotram. Guru Paduka Stotram is a very powerful chant that glorifies the sandals of the Guru, which are symbolically represented as the boat to help cross the endless ocean of life. The chanting of this stotram enables one to become receptive to the Guru's grace. The students of Chinmaya Vidyalaya Taylors Road will now chant the Guru Paduka Stotram.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुदेव परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो यः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यशाश्वतशान्तो व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनाथकलातीतः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाताश्च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविराहिने आत्मज्ञानापरायेण तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धुश्च व्यापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोपादोयकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानापरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नागश्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुरानिरनादिष्ट गुरो परमदैवतं गुरो परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव
The students will now chant the ashtotram.
Om Ajnaya Namaha Om Avyaya Namaha Om Avinashine Namaha Om Achintyaya Namaha Om Aprameyaya Namaha Om Advitiyaya Namaha Om Aniketaya Namaha Om Anusashana Priyaya Namaha Om Antasakshine Namaha Om Antaryamine Namaha Om Anandaya Namaha Om Atmaswarupaya Namaha Om Anglabhasha Viduttamaya Namaha Om Ishvaraya Namaha Om Udaradhidayaya Namaha Om Utsahavardhakaya Namaha Om Ekasmai Namaha Om Omkaravide Namaha Om Karunasagaraya Namaha Om Karmaparayanaaya Namaha Om Kalatitaya Namaha Om Kaivalyaswarupaya Namaha Om Mudatmane Namaha Om Kritakritayaya Namaha Om Gita Jnana Yajna Pracharakaya Namaha Om Gurave Namaha Om Gunatitaya Namaha Om Grantakrite Namaha Om Chinmayaya Namaha Om Chinnasamsaya Namaha Om Jagatmane Namaha Om Jagatsakshine Namaha Om Janapriyaya Namaha Om Jitendriyaya Namaha Om Jiva Brahma Vikale Namaha Om Jiva Muktaya Namaha Om Jirna Mandirodharakaya Namaha Om Tapovana Shishyaya Namaha Om Tapasvine Namaha Om Tapanasanaya Namaha Om Tirthaswarupaya Namaha Om Tejasvine Namaha Om Dehatitaya Namaha Om Vandavahikaya Namaha Om Dhritashrayaya Namaha Om Dharma Samstapakaya Namaha Om Dhimate Namaha Om Dhiraya Namaha Om Dhairyapradaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Nijanandaya Namaha Om Nirapekshaya Namaha Om Nisprahaya Namaha Om Nirupamaya Namaha Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha Om Nityaya Namaha Om Niranjanaya Namaha Om Paramaya Namaha Om Parabrahmane Namaha Om Pavanaya Namaha Om Pavakaya Namaha Om Purushottamaya Namaha Om Prasannatmane Namaha Om Balashaktirahitaya Namaha Om Bahubhaktaya Namaha Om Bandhamochakaya Namaha Om Brahmanishaya Namaha Om Brahmaparaya Namaha Om Vayanashanaya Namaha Om Bharata Gauravaya Namaha Om Bhumane Namaha Om Mahavakyopadeshakaya Namaha Om Maharshaye Namaha Om Madhurasvabhavaya Namaha Om Manoharaya Namaha Om Mahatmane Namaha Om Medavine Namaha Om Yatatmane Namaha Om Yajnakrite Namaha Om Lokaprasidhyaya Namaha Om Vagmine Namaha Om Vibhave Namaha ॐ विनोदप्रियाय नमः ॐ विनयशीलाय नमः ॐ वीतरागाय नमः ॐ वेदान्तवेद्याय नमः ॐ शान्ताय नमः ॐ शान्तिप्रदाय नमः ॐ शास्त्रोद्धारकाय नमः ॐ शुद्धसत्त्वाय नमः ॐ श्रुतिपारगाय नमः ॐ श्रोत्रियाय नमः ॐ संन्यासिने नमः ॐ सम्बुद्धये नमः ॐ सच्चिदानन्दाय नमः ॐ सर्वहितचिन्ताय नमः ॐ सत्यसङ्कल्पाय नमः ॐ सन्तुष्टाय नमः ॐ साधवे नमः ॐ सुमनसे नमः ॐ शुद्धे नमः ॐ स्वयंयोगिषे नमः ॐ स्थितप्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ क्षमाशीलाय नमः ॐ ज्ञानमूर्तये नमः ॐ ज्ञानयोगिने नमः ॐ ज्ञानप्रदाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः.
To perform puja of the Guru's padukas is a rare and blessed opportunity. We offer our reverence to the teacher who has conveyed the teachings in word, an example of the eternal vision and truth, and to the divine potential ever present within us. The KG teachers of Chinmaya Vidyalayas Taylors Road had performed the Guru Paduka Puja. Next, we have the senior teachers of Taylors Road performing the arti. The arti reminds us of the greatness of the Lord because the flame that we rotate is symbolic of the cosmos revolving around the Almighty, paying obeisance to Him.
ॐ ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मसमाधिना अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शङ्करप्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षां देवी च पार्वती माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वरः बान्धवा शिवभक्ताश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयम् हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाये शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकरन की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बारिकी तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की
and the whole universe.
Next, we will watch
How
a
can the
video
finite
clipping on the
become
great
the
master,
infinite?
the visionary,
How can
Puja
the limited
Gurudev.
ever reach the unlimited? How me limited in my physical apparatus, how can I come to experience all pervading essence? It is an exaggeration. We are not questioning whether there is anything or a higher reality. Let it be there. We can have probably a relationship. We can surrender ourselves. We can cry out to him for help and for protection. Dvaita is acceptable. But the Advaita philosophy that you as a stream of thoughts can reach out that ocean of reality and merge there is too difficult for the human intellect to understand, because intellect can function only in the world of plurality. The oneness human intellect can never understand. It is a function of the human intellect to analyze. With your sense organs, when you are perceiving the distant that tree, what you perceive and understand is only the trunk, the branch, the twigs, leaves, flowers. Each one different from others. See? When an intellect is trying to understand anything, he analyzes it into its different parts. Then comes the wisdom, the understanding, where you integrate them all together, which is not the function of the intellect, but the higher intellect. Then I understand that the trunk and the leaves and the branches, which are of different shape, different function, different names, and yet the tree is one. How do I understand? By recognizing that the one sap that goes through every leaf and branch, every trunk and every cell in that tree, I understand the sap is one, and from that standpoint I say it is one. Similarly, in the medical college, in anatomy, you are taught that the hand and the leg and the head and the eyes and the ears and the nose and so many parts. But the student understands all of them put together is the easy paying rich patient. One. See, I can bluff through him and milk him from morning till evening. But his hand is different from the leg. Liver is different from the pancreas. Pancreas is different from kidney. Each part is separate from it. Intellectually understand by analyzing it. Then comes the wisdom. I integrate them together. All these put together is man. Anything in the world. Chemistry laboratory, how do you study? Analysis. So the intellect, when it touches anything, it withers into its various parts. Intellect can function efficiently only in the world of plurality. To conceive the one, it is not the intellect, but it's the subtle intellect. Wisdom. Knowledge, which is the main function and discriminative power of the intellect, is gathered by the process of analysis. And the final understanding, the wisdom is in integrating them all together into the one. Arjuna is looking at and hearing and listening to the teacher from his intellectual standpoint. he cannot understand the one without a second. He can understand everything of the plurality. But when you are transcending the Dvaita, the duality, and enter into the whole of oneness, the intellect cannot conceive because it is beyond the intellect. It is not with the intellect that you analyze and understand. You cannot understand it. You can only stand under it, not understand it. It's not an object. It is me, the subject. Therefore, there will be essentially a doubt. If you have not got it, you will get it soon. Given enough time. Hey, how can this limited experience that illusion? That is all.
What is jnana? Is it cognition of Brahman? What is vijnana? Is it the conceptual understanding of materiality, cognition of Ishwar or Vishnu, the weave of Purusha and Prakriti? To find answers to these questions, let's explore chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita. We now have the Vice Principals of Chinmaya Vidyalayas presenting Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Yoga of knowledge and wisdom.
Hari Om. Pranams at the lotus feet of Puja Gurudev and all the other dignitaries who have assembled here and all the teachers from our Vidyalayas who have assembled here. I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present here. We are gathered here to bask in the divine knowledge of the Holy Scripture, Bhagavad Gita. The aim of the Gita doctrine is to lead one to tranquility, happiness and equanimity. Though the knowledge is very old, yet it is relevant even today. We, the Vice Principals of Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Chennai, have made a humble attempt to bring to you the rich essence of chapter 7 of the Gita. Our collective endeavor is a very small tribute to our Gurudev. We feel his sublime presence with us in this venerated place, blessing us in our nascent attempt. We will be taking you through the chapter 7. Can we move to the next slide? But before going through the chapter 7, I would like to very briefly tell you about what was discussed in the chapter 6. Sri Krishna ended in the previous chapter by describing the supreme yogi as the one who with his inmost self abiding in him adores the Lord. We were told about the technique of meditation for obtaining the self-realization, and that the meditator is superior to a tapasvi or jnani. Arjuna still doubts how a limited and a mortal mind and an intellect of a finite entity like man could ever understand the limitless infinite with all its virtues and glory. Bhagavan Krishna therefore clarifies this doubt in this chapter by describing the nature of the Lord himself, who is a point of concentration of the yogi's unwavering devotion. He tells Arjuna that the Supreme Godhead has to be realized in both his transcendent and innate aspect. The yogi who has reached this summit has nothing more to know. Continuing with the chapter 7, verse 1. If you look at this verse, it brings about a beautiful Guru-Shishya relationship. Bhagavan is very sure of what he has to say. He knows, and he is trying to instill the same energy and the enthusiasm in his students. Bhagavan says it is natural to have doubt. That how is it possible for a limited mind like us to understand or embrace the unlimited? Sri Krishna guarantees Arjuna that he will explain the entire science and the technique which will clearly show how a meditator, by fixing his integrated mind upon the contemplation of the nature of the self, can come to experience the divine. So, going ahead with the verse 2, this is what is important. Bhagavan promises that not only he will deliver the theory, the jnana, the spiritual knowledge, but also take us to the highest peak of self-discovery, vijnana. Jnana is paroksha jnana, theoretical knowledge for the study of scriptures. Vijnana is aparoksha jnana, vishesha jnana, a direct knowledge of the self for self-realization, spiritual experience, or it is called as anubhava. If you look at the example over here, the spider spins his web from his mouth and then withdraws it. Similarly, Bhagavan creates out of himself the whole universe and then winds it up to himself. And another beautiful example, which I find that it is very apt to understand what is vijnana and what is jnana. Honey is, we all have heard that honey has the sweetest taste that is incomparable to any other sweet. But unless we open the jar and taste it, we will not get the experiential realization of its sweetness. Likewise, the Guru gives us the jnana, which is the theoretical knowledge of the scriptures, yet we need to do the practice, the sadhana, as per the acquired jnana, which would consequently purify our mind. Then only the vijnana or the wisdom through self-realization will be attained. I am going to tell about sage Vedavyasa. Once sage Vedavyasa intended to write Srimad Bhagavatam, a scripture that would describe God, his glory, nature, and as an object of devotion. But he did not wish to write based on his jnana. Therefore, he first engaged himself in the bhakti to attain the experiential realization, which is vijnana. Through bhakti yoga, Vedavyasa fixed his mind upon the God without any material sentiments and thus attained the complete vision and the realization of the supreme divine personality along with the external energy Maya, which he kept under control. Inspired by this realization, he wrote the epic scripture. Therefore, jnana means consummate knowledge of the formless and the attributeless aspect of the Lord. Vijnana means experiencing the knowledge. It is therefore named as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Jnana, theoretical knowledge of the scripture. Vijnana, it is the experiential knowledge of the scriptures so that we can attain the wisdom. Now, Mrs. Geeta will take you through the further verses. Thank you.
Hari Om. Krishna talks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Geeta. By practicing yoga and meditation in full consciousness on me, with mind attached to me, you will know me in full, promises Lord Krishna. Of all the meditators, the one who is completely focused on me and doing the meditation is the one who is the highest seeker of me, and he is very dear to me, Lord Krishna says. All the Vedas, which are the self-existent truth, are revealed to rishis in the seat of meditation through gods themselves. Such is the power of meditation. So after hearing all these things in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was totally confused. He says, "Oh Krishna, how this limited body, mind and intellect of a finite entity like human beings can understand the infinite Lord with true spirit and his glories?" Now Krishna is trying to clear his doubt in the next 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, which is called as the Bhakti Yoga. First of all, we should understand what is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga primarily means to know Krishna. Then what do we understand by knowing Krishna? Knowing Krishna means to know all his attributes, his infinite greatness, his strength, power, knowledge, grace and detachment. So now Krishna is telling to Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, now I am going to give you the complete knowledge. The knowledge which includes the knowledge of this world and the knowledge of the spirit that lies behind this world. So this is the ultimate knowledge which I am going to give you, beyond which you need not have anything to learn." So now Arjuna is very curious to know. So Krishna is continuing saying that, "Oh Arjuna, there are thousands and thousands of men in this world. Rarely one person reaches the perfection. Among thousands of men who have reached perfection, hardly one person knows me in truth." So now here we should understand what is perfection. Human life is meant for self-realization. And this self-realization is only described as perfection by Lord Krishna. And what is the self-realization all about? Self-realization means to understand I am the spirit soul. Understanding I am the spirit soul is the beginning of the self-realization. Again, Arjuna is asking, then what is the complete self-realization? Complete self-realization means to know who am I, who is Krishna, and what is my relationship with Krishna. That is called as the complete self-realization. And how can I reach this self-realization is the next question asked by Arjuna. So Krishna answers, only through Bhakti Yoga, you can understand this self-realization. Otherwise, you will not be able to reach me, O Arjuna, he says. And everything in this world is manifested in me, and finally it is getting dissolved in me. So in order to reach me, finally, you should surrender totally to me. Otherwise, how Shankaracharya says, "Punarabi jananam, punarabi maranam, punarabi janani, jatare sayanam." So you have to take janmas after janmas till you exhaust all your vasanas and finally reach me. So Tirukural also says, "Tanakuvamai illadan தாள் சேர்ந்தார் கல்லால் மனக்கவலை மாற்றல் அரிது பிறவி பெருங்கடல் நீந்துவர் நீந்தார் இறைவனடி சேராதார்." So now Krishna is explaining about his 2 energies. "Oh Arjuna, this entire universe is made up of 2 energies of mine. Entirely it is controlled by me. These 2 energies are, one is called as the material energy, the other one is the superior energy. Material energy is the inferior energy, and the superior energy is the ultimate, the supreme consciousness. So this material energy consists of 8 components, earth, water, fire, air and space. This comes under the gross energy. Mind, intellect and ego comes under the subtle energy. All these 8 energies are controlled by me. Not only this, O Arjuna, I am also made up of the higher energy, which is the supreme consciousness. And I am the one who is controlling this inferior energy also. All the living organisms in this world is coming under the superior energy. So I am the one who is controlling everything, and I am the substratum for all these things." And he is continuing saying that, "Matta paradaram nanyat kinchitasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva Oh Arjuna, everything in this world is lying on me like how the beads are strung in the thread. Now, this string supports the beads in the garland. In the same way, I am the one who is supporting the entire universe. And without the string, all the pearls will get scattered. In the same way, without me, the entire world will get dispersed. So understand, O Arjuna, I am the material cause, the instrumental cause, and the efficient cause of everything in this world. So without understanding this, men are working on satisfying only their bodily demands, like eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. By doing all these things, you will never reach me, O Arjuna. Only by through true bhakti and the total surrender, you will be able to reach me, he says. Now, after hearing this, Arjuna is totally astonished. He is again continuing with the same thought. Krishna says, Oh Arjuna, everything in this universe is me. You can see the radiance in the sun and the moon, the fire, the intelligence in the intelligent, and the taste of water and original fragrance on the earth. I am the ability in the man. I am the strength in the strong person, manliness in the man. I am the original seed of existence, that is the bijam. I am the original seed of existence in this universe, and everything rests upon me. So this is the ultimate one. This knowledge is the complete knowledge which I am giving you. So the same thought flow is felt in Thiruvasagam also. Vanagi, mannagi, valiyagi, oliyagi, oonagi, uyiragi, unmayimai, inmayimai, தேனா யானதென்றவரை கூத்தாட்டு வானாகி நின்றாயே என் சொல்லி வாழ்த்துவனே. So this understanding of bhakti is very, very important. And my understanding of this 11 shlokas of the 7th chapter as a small video presentation. Hari Om.
verses, Krishna is saying that Maya is a delusion which operates the mind and intellect. The thoughts which arise from every one of us are classified under three main categories according to our feelings, thoughts and actions. They are Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. I hope you all know what it is. For an example, being you are all a teacher here today, we must have all attended the workshop for learning the first aid. And throughout the workshop, some of us will be very keenly observing and taking notes and learning everything and remembering all those things. And others will be doing some other work, but meanwhile they will be learning what is first aid also. But some of them, they will be, for the sake of attending, they will be learning that, doing that, attending the workshop. But once when there is an opportunity, when the crisis is there in the school, the people, those who are sattvic people, can apply their mind and they can use what they have learned. That is called a sattvic mind. But the rajasic people, though they have the knowledge, by seeing the people bleeding, they get the anxiety and they forget what they have learned. And that is what they may do something wrong also. And tamasic people, they would have forgotten everything. And if at all they are doing also, it will go wrong. But anyhow, at the end of the workshop, everybody would have got the certificate. But we should know to know how we have to be, whether it should be a sattvic, tamasic or rajasic. It is not only for this. For any action, it can be classified as tamasic, rajasic and sattvic. So whatever may be these three categories, all these three are created from the Supreme only. Whether it is tamasic or rajasic or sattvic, we are created from the Supreme only. For example, here it has been shown that all clay articles are made of clay. And all the gold ornaments are made of gold. Whether it is a bangles or a necklace, it is made out of gold. If it is a 1 sovereign gold bangle and 1 sovereign necklace, when you melt it, the gold will be there. The form of the bangle and necklace has been changed. That is what the Supreme which is within that will remain the same. That is what he is telling. In everybody, the Supreme, the Atman is there. Though all matter is from Atman only, the Atman is not affected. That is what Atman is not affected. That is not contaminated or shackled. People do not realize that beyond the temporary perishable mind, there is a divine matter. We are all from Atman and we are in the Atman. So now you can see one picture. You can say that as an optical illusion also. Some of you, when you look into the picture, we will think that it is a ghost. Actually, it is not a ghost. It is a lamppost. So we do not see what is inside. We are always attracted by what is outside. So that is like that only. This happens because the people are dominated by the three gunas and are blindfolded by not knowing the divine nature of immutable fact. So, how can we come across these mayas? So, whatever these three gunas we have seen, how can we come across the maya? Nobody can come out of their maya on their own. So, everybody has to surrender to the Supreme to come out of their maya. For example, a patient has to fully have a faith on the doctor. Whatever problem we have, we should have a faith. So we all would have come across the situation when some of you would have gone for the cesareans. So we would have, with a full faith, we have surrendered ourselves to the doctor. So now that we are here, our children are also there. Likewise, we have to surrender fully to the Supreme. So then we can come out of the maya. So how we can surrender to the Supreme? Single-minded meditation and prayer is the only right way to achieve it. So how to do that single-minded meditation? For example, you must have heard this example so many times, but still I am telling you, when you do the meditation, sit and do the meditation, your mind, you wanted to do the meditation, but your mind will be keep on roaming about, even it will go to America where your son or daughter is there, what they'll be doing. And you will be thinking about, even now also, you will be thinking, you are not doing that. If dedication means not only doing dedication of meditation, any work, whatever we are doing, we have to do it with a dedication. That is only called as. So though you are all here, even likewise, what like a meditation, you are all here. But you will be thinking, what will I do for my dinner? So some of you, whether you are listening to us or not, you will be thinking, what will I go and cook? And what my son or daughter will be doing? Will they be learning for their exams? So all these things will be going on in our mind. So that type of a disturbance is not called as single-minded devotion. So you sit for that and you are thinking about something is not called as single-minded devotion. That is the reason sometimes to bring in that meditation, you make the ambience all right. That is by decorating with kolam, flowers and innocent sticks, and then chanting, all jabas, everything you will be, even festival time we do at home, to bring in the ambience, to focus towards the Supreme, and that is the way we can dedicate ourselves or do the meditation towards the Supreme. And some people in that way, then why do all people who always think about the Supreme and meditate on God do not enjoy on excellence? So we are doing meditation. Some people very hardly they are doing meditation. But why they are not reaching the Supreme? That is, for example, some people will be doing meditation for their selfish behavior. That is, they wanted to get lot of money. And like you must be knowing about in the mythology, that is like about Kumbhakarna, Ravana, Bahasura, all these people, they were doing meditation and got the boon for something for negative purpose. So in that case, when they are doing a meditation, though they are doing meditation, they cannot be very close to the Supreme. They cannot be very close to the Supreme. So in this verse, in the 15th verse, the Krishna wanted to tell that very strongly that the people who are addict or indulge in moha should come out of that. He is strongly saying that they should come out of that. And for that is like a reason, no? When people are all eating we say that you have to eat properly to get energy like that. But if the people will be keep on eating all the junk foods, so you should tell them strongly. So otherwise they will not stop. If you eat like that, you will become very fat. And if you become very fat, and then your blood cholesterol will increase. It may lead to heart attack. All the problem if you say, then only they will realize and they will stop. Likewise, we have to tell the people, those who are, that is, they are into the mogas, we have to tell them very strongly to come out of that. So those people who are having the mohas, and they will be behaving like asuras also. They will not be able to discriminate good or bad, honest or dishonest, truth or untruthful. For example, Yoga day we must have all celebrated. And on that day we must have all taken a oath, hereafter we will be doing the yogas. And people also, they must have been any chief guest or coming or anybody else, they will say hereafter every day you do yoga. Doing yoga is good for our health, we all know that. But after finishing the program, what we will say? Where do I have a time? If I sit and do, my back is paining. Or I don't have time to do. All these things we are doing. That is, even that which is good or which is bad, we are not able to discriminate. So a person who thinks himself as a person made of only flesh and bones and tries to satisfy the sense of the body is called a sinner. People who always express and make others to accept only their views are called deluded or mudas. The rationality will give benefits to the person who is not affected by the senses, and he can discriminate things with his mind and heart. Otherwise, it may lead to asuric character. For an example, asuric character and divine character, if at all, if our students, They have got a rich knowledge and they may be intelligent. When they are all somewhat, they are doing something good. For example, they are manufacturing a car, and a very nice car, and it is coming in all over the world media, and we will be also feeling very happy and saying that it is our student, or one of our Vidyalaya student has done a very great job. But the same mind can be used in destroying the car also. That is like you must have heard about they can make the atomic bomb, or they can use the bomb to destroy anything else. Likewise, the intelligence can be used for either asuric character or for the divine character. So this is the time that we as a teacher, we should guide the students to know, discriminate which is asuric and which is the divine character. So our future generation, they will have a proper values. So that is what you all know, that our Gurudev also have said that catch them young and teach them sattvic qualities for better future. So you all know that. That is the reason our Gurudev has started the Vidyalayas, so that we can teach the values which can imbibe in them, and they can become a good citizen in the future. So I think we are doing the same with all the value-based education. So we will keep continuing that, so that all our children will also become with the divine nature in future. So the next verse says that a person who has asuric values will not be able to reach the Atman. Then which type of a people can go close to Atman? Whether asuric or that, where you are doing meditation also, then who will go close to that? So to reach the God, the dedicated prayer are only the way. So what are the different ways of prayer shown by the people towards Supreme? Here in the verses he says,
Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritinarjuna arto jignasurartarti jnani cha paradarshapa.
So here he says that the people, those who are doing the prayer, is of four types. That is artas, artatis, jignasu and jnanis. Artas are the people, those who are praying to come out of their sufferings, like Draupadi. You all know that when she prayed to Krishna when she was in some sufferings. And then the next slide. And Artarti means they pray to the God to fulfill their desire. That is like a Duruva. Duruva wanted to sit on his father's lap. For that he meditated and he got the boons, and then he was sitting on the lap of his father. And Jignasu is a person who is keep on searching Lord in everywhere. So such type of a person is called as Jignasu. That is our example is like a Parikshit. Parikshit got that darshan of Krishna when he was in the womb of his mother. So after the birth he wanted to search Krishna everywhere. So that type of a searching is called Jignasu. And Jnani is without expecting anything, they are surrendering to the Supreme. That's called as Jnani. So these are the four types of the prayer. So now you know that out of this four types of the prayer, which will be whatever prayer it is, in all these prayers, ego surrenders to the spirit with the demand of its Lord to manifest and function in any given scheme of activity. So in this slide you can see that the various electrical gadgets, so though it is a different types of gadgets, all the gadget has to surrender itself to the plug point. If it is surrendering it to the plug point only, it can start working. Whether it is a fan or the AC or the heater, when it is surrendering to the plug point, as like any people, we have to surrender it to the Supreme, then it gets manifested. Like that, these electrical gadget, when it is surrendering to the electricity, it can function and it can either give coolness or heatness, or it can rotate like that. That is what it has been mentioned. Any type of prayer, it is, we have to surrender it to the Lord. Then, who is greater among the four types of devotees? A person who surrenders to the Atman with a single pointed devotion can only reach the Supreme, which is possible only when people get free or detached from worldly things. Here you all know that this example, whenever we watch TV at home with very seriously some serial or some programs, we don't even know what is happening. Sometime our husband, he would have come and we would be coming after some time asking what is the dinner. We won't be knowing what is happening around us, or our children will be breaking something. So like that it happens. So nowadays more than TV, we are indulged so much in the mobile. So we are devoting very seriously into the gadgets. So like that, we have to give full devotion when we are praying. So when a person keeps on praying, so the jnanis are praying, we saw that, without any expectation. And all these people, when they are keep on praying and showing a love and not getting anything in return, then that people will become fed up. So for that reason only, the Lord is keeping the jnanis are very close to them. So among these four people, jnanis are very close to the Supreme. So does it mean only jnanis are loved by the Supreme and not the others? So being closer to the minister is different from being the minister itself. You will say, no, I wanted to become as a jnani. I wanted to behave like a jnani. So saying I wanted to become as a jnani is different from being a jnani itself. So if you are a jnani, you can be very close to the Supreme. So then what happened to the others? So other than jnanis, how others can reach the Supreme? They can reach the Supreme after many rebirths. At the final stage, after attaining jnanam, a person who sees and thinks everything as Vasudev will reach the Atman. So at one particular time, if that person comes to know that Vasudev in everyone, in all the Atman, see, even in that beginning, when I have become as a vice principal, initially I would have also got that fear how to face the people. Then slowly I thought, after all, it is my students. So I started talking. And then in front of my school teachers, I thought, okay, I will speak what, even if it is wrong, they will come and tell me, I will change. The same way, now it has been spread up. Whatever it is, our Vidyalayas teachers only, all are one family. So my thing has been expanded. So I am seeing everyone as one. So that oneness has to spread to everyone. So we have to see the Vasudev in all the people. Those who pray with single pointed mind and always pray to God will reach the Supreme after many births. So the same thing is only said even in the Puranas as well as in the science. That is by Darwin. The evolution, how the evolution takes place. You all know that. The man has evolved from the ape. It is not a sudden change. From one particular day, ape has not changed into the human. For from the ape to become a human, it took a long time. So likewise, any change to take place, that is from arthas or arthatis to jnanis, you have to undergo so many rebirths and you have to see Vasudev in everyone. Then you can become jnani and you can be close to the Supreme. Does jnani only attain the Supreme? What happens to the others? Bhagavan does not say that only jnani or many rebirths are needed to attain the Supreme. People who fully dedicate themselves and do sadhana can attain him. It does not mean that others cannot attain Supreme within this Janma. Anyone can attain the Supreme if they fully dedicate themselves with single-minded prayer. You know, I was telling that evolution took place for the change, but sometimes the mutation is also happening for the changes. So as you all know that, the Valmiki, who was the burglar in the beginning, in one particular time, he has become as a jnani. So it can happen to any one of us also. Even in this Janma, if you are suddenly some changes can happen, and if you dedicate yourself to the Supreme, even you can also reach the Supreme, or you can be closer to the Supreme. This is how you know the school, we think that the children will be thinking that the school will remembering only the student who gets the first place or the toppers in the academics, and their names will be coming in the roll of honor. It is not that. Even the other students who are all excelling in either sports or co-curricular activities or instrumental playing or whatever it is, and they go participate in the competition and bring laurels to the school. And their names are also will be etched in the walls of the school. I hope you all know that. Many of the students you will be remembering. So that is what, it is not only the jnani, even the others, when you people are all dedicating, we can also go close to the Supreme. This is what has been from 12 to 19. And now, though they are jnani, why people worship different forms according to their nature? That will be discussed by Durai Chandran sir now.
Hari Om. Shall I? Hari Om. Salutations to Lord. Pranams to Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya. Thanks to the previous speakers. We will now take a meditative journey through the verses 19 to 25. The transition of human life, right from the birth to death, is all about his seeking the sought. Let me repeat the meditative journey of these verses. The human life is all about his seeking and his sought, and he himself is the seeker. These verses will aptly define the seeker, his seeking, the sought. In the verse number 19, Bhagavan tells two emphasized words. One is Mahatma, another is Sudarbalaha. After many births, the wise man attained me, such a great self, thinking Vasudeva to be all is rare, indeed to find. To all your fine senses, as Mrs. Lakshmi told, the rarest of the seeker who is very close to Lord is rare to find. You know why is rare to find? Or why is that rarity? Because the rarity is in his seeking. He is not seeking from incompleteness, he is seeking from completeness. And what is he seeking? He is not seeking the material world, he is seeking the God himself. Is none to meet that rarity. The none is that one. Let me repeat. The none is that one, the jnani. The jnani is close to Lord because the dawning of the knowledge that there is single cause behind everything and surrender of one's ego to that single cause, Ishwar, attains that rarity of being close to the Lord. In the verse number 20, 21, 22, 23, we are moving from the seeker to seeking. What the seeker is seeking from his desire. Without getting into the explanations of the verses, in just if you have to put across what the seeking is all about, the seeker is seeking the perishable, time-bound desires. His seeking is all from desires towards the material world. Other than the devotee who is very close to the Lord, the other devotees have a sense of incompleteness. They keep looking for finite things such as people, object, and situations to make complete. They seek refuge in finite deities. Why is it difficult to attain my own higher nature? I wish to ask everybody of you, where do we search Lord? We search Lord at temples, maybe in solitude. But let me be very explicit in telling, after going through these verses, the Lord is not hidden anywhere. The Lord is ourself. We have a nature. See how beautifully Lord puts it across to all of us. The Lord is in our own nature. But the nature we are revolving around in this world is the basic nature which is masked by the desires. When we evolve to the higher nature, then we get his divine bliss. In the verse number 21 and 22, it is all about the idol worship. can we actually tell you that is idol worship permitted? Or is the worshipping towards finite deities will take us to the infinite? To all this, there is an answer from this verses. Even if we worship a finite deity with a finite goal, Ishvara will ensure that our finite goals are awarded to us. In doing so, Ishvara will strengthen our faith in that deity. As it is again, the Lord is manifested in the finite God even. Have borrowed an anecdote from our Gurudev's commentaries. Once, there was a desire-fulfilling shop to be opened at heaven. There was a devotee who was called for the opening ceremony, and the devotee was on that day to cut the ribbon. The devotee went inside and asked the shopkeeper for apples. The devotee waited and waited, and the shopkeeper brought some apple seeds and gave it to the devotee. The devotee got the apple seeds and turned back to the shopkeeper and asked, I asked for the apple, but you have given me the apple seeds. Then the devotee very clearly told, in heaven, at the desire-fulfilling shop, we only give the seeds, not the apple. It is your effort that you have to cultivate the seeds to the apples. What does this anecdote tells us? We, all of us, have some desire, fulfilled or unfulfilled, but if we seek it with our effort, again let me repeat, if we seek it with our effort, we can reach that highest. So, here is a question. Does Lord approve idol worship? If Lord is not there in the idols or the finite devotees, is He approving it? Yes. You know why? The answer comes here in the verses is, He approves the idol worship because of one reason. At least by the idol worship, when our desire gets fulfilled and the ego gets subdued, then we look for that reality. So, what is the clarity that we are arriving from this verses is, just look at this way our Gurudev has put it across to all of us. Narayana never gives the gift, packed, what you need, but he shows the path. The effort is the faith and the path. Let me repeat, the effort is the faith and the path. The wise man who, however, chooses his interest and thus rises in the scale of values, leading finally to the value which is absolute. Now it's over with the seeking, and what is he seeking and to whom is he seeking? He is seeking to the sought. Now the last two verses, verse number 24 and 25, is all about the sought. Now, let me tell you, there was an infinite joy when I read this verse, and this setup has pushed us to sail through these verses, knowingly or unknowingly. Let me read the translation of it. Let's all rejoice this meaning and ever apply it in our life. I'm an ardent devotee of Lord Muruga. Let me tell you, I'm an ardent devotee of Lord Muruga. It means that from now on, I will surrender to Lord Krishna, because Bhagavad Gita tells that Lord Krishna, myself, Vasudeva, does it mean that I have to never go to Muruga temple, then go to only Krishna temple? But that is not the way where, let me tell you, that is not the way the Bhagavan describes himself. See the translation of the verse number 14. The foolish think of me, the unmanifest as coming to manifestation, not knowing my higher, immutable and peerless nature. See this, the foolish in the wisdom of God. In the worldly affairs is the very intelligent thinker. In the worldly affairs, who is foolish in the wisdom of God is the intelligent thinker who reasons, who gets to know everything, but still is considered as a fool in the wisdom of God because he is seeking reasons for the prediction of the absolute, which is not possible, because the God is absolute. Here is the absolute is not to be thought as a thing at all. So what is the point in not going to Muruga temple and going to Krishna temple? Because God is telling, I am the unmanifest. You think that I have manifested as Lord Krishna. Even that manifestation is not my own. So, coming to this point, as teachers, most of us are teachers sitting here, as teachers, when we need to introduce the term or the concept on absolute, be it science or maths, a greater percentage of misconception revolves in the class. as it requires the unlearning of the acquired knowledge on relativity to enter the world of absolute. You, all of us would have experienced, when you talk about absolute, it's time bound to understand it because it is, you have to unlearn relative. A classroom of 50 students took a test and they were ranked relatively. Easy it is for us because compared to the one, the other is ranked. Imagine a situation when there is only one student in a class and taking up a test. How will you rank? That is absolute. Then the ranking is left to that individual. That is how the sort is also. For example, one more example can I cite? With your permission all. We look into the mirror, if we can see ourselves, then the mirror is not seen. We all of us will try again. I tried it many times, but I could only see myself. So you have to go to the absolute to see the mirror again, I believe. Let us look into the mirror. When we see ourselves, the mirror is not visible. When we look into the mirror and if we see the mirror, we are not visible. That is God. Is God a form or is he formless? See this Golu dolls which is put there, all relative to our own sense organs. But absolute is that infinite which is beyond understanding. Now in the verse number 55, the concluding version of it, I am not manifest to all. God is telling I am not manifest to all. Every time we ask this question in life, why me? When trouble comes, why me? Is the first question we ask. And second thing, God, why does not he see me? So 2 times we put this question, it's why me sometime and why not me sometime. The answer is here, I am not manifest to all in my real nature. Veiled by divine Maya, this deluded world knows not me, the unborn, the imperishable. In this, there is a lot of commentaries have been given, but the one interesting thing which I loved it is, there is something called as the clarity of luminosity by which alone the supreme value called absolute is apprehended or appraised is not given to the generality of the human beings. We call it as bipolar duality. Now all of you in this hall, just listen to this. We are veiled by the Yoga Maya. God tells negative reality. See how it should have been a knowledge which is being transacted for years after years, or it is decades after decades. God is telling there is a reality. That is what you are all searching. But there are 2 kinds of reality. Again, he is not undermining that negative reality. He is telling that the reality is the negative reality as well as the positive reality. The positive reality is the God himself and the negative reality is the Maya. You look at this bulb, it's glowing. If you don't have the knowledge of electricity, the bulb is glowing. If you know the knowledge of electricity, the bulb is growing in which the electricity is manifested. Thanks to Gurudev for giving such a kind of beautiful commentaries. And the last slide is so close to my heart, ever it will remind all throughout my life when I move from this stage. Paradox of the seek and sought. Who is seeking and what is sought? The seek and the sought are in paradox. This which is seeking is that which is sought, and that which is sought is this which is seeking. I wish to take your permission to read it one more time. This which is seeking is that which is sought, and that which is sought is this which is seeking. All the fool of every altar, at the foot of every altar, it is Krishna the Self that constantly supplies more and more faith to water the exploding fields of devotion in the sincere devotee. In words of a Gurudev, desire cannot arise in the mind of one who is fulfilled. Desire cannot arise in the minds of one who is fulfilled. So much fulfilled I am. Thank you, leaving the stage to Mrs. Ilavarasi.
Hari Om. I'll be taking from verse 26 to verse 30. At verse 26, where are we left? At verse 26, this is a condition of ignorance and the confusion in the limited finite ego which is brought about very vividly in the following verses. So in verse 26, what is that we are going to see? The condition of ignorance and the confusion in the limited mind. Here, Bhagavan Krishna says he knows everything. He knows the gunas, he knows the time zone, he knows the creation, and everything he knows. But the sad part is that we don't know him at all. He knows the past, he knows the present, he knows the future. He is the Ananta, but we fail to know him. Like, I will give one example. Like a mother who knows all of the child and does not reveal every doing of the child. Bhagavan says that he knows what each Jivatma wants and changes the time, place and things for the sake of the devotee. This you will understand very clearly when we give an example of Lord Narasimha. Lord Narasimha, all of you know, is Krodham and Karuna Rupam as one. He does the undoable for his devotee who knows him as Ananta, the sole creator. So Bhagavan, the only thing which we fail is, we fail to understand the self. We need to understand that self is the same everywhere. If you talk about the sun, we know that the sun illuminates the world. Actually, in a very strict logic, if we speak, it is not that the sun which is illuminating the world, because we are contrasting it, keeping the hours of night. We may rightly attribute that the sun is illuminating or the sun radiates light because we are looking at the night and then they're saying, do you think that at night sun doesn't radiate light? Sun is still brilliant. So the self is the same everywhere. But unfortunately, we limited mind are with a very constructed thought and very limited mind and intellect, we are not able to fall in rhythm with the universe. We are not. When can we know about the God? We can know about the God only when we are able to break away from the ignorance or break this bondage of the ignorance. Then only we'll be able to understand the Lord. So the verse 26 spoke about the ignorance and the confusion in the limited mind. Verse 26, we will understand, okay, now that we are saying that in verse 26, the eternal knower is only the self. Okay, if the self has known everything, but still what stops the self from understanding the true nature, or why is that we are not able to attain the realization? It is all nothing to do with the thought, the host of disturbance which is there in our mind. Because this host of disturbance which is there at the mental as well as the intellectual level goes on breeding with us on day by day. It creates an chaos in the mind. Unfortunately, all the beings fall into this delusion. But Bhagavan is waiting for us when we are tired and when will we ask for him. He doesn't even waste a split second. He'll be right there. But only thing is we are all the time caught up with this delusion, likes, dislikes, something which we like. These vasanas are the one which are not allowing us to know the essential nature of us, and that's why we are not able to realize. As Puja Gurudev says, he is as much away from you as the gold is from the ornament, water is from the waves and the bubble, and the waker is from the dreamer. One beautiful way you will understand, see, there are people who are caught up in likes and dislikes, and they will never ever realize or they will never ever understand the Bhagavan. But whereas we know about Prahlada, though Asura by birth, gained knowledge in the womb of his mother by sage Narada, is an exception and a real devotee. He raised about Maya and duality and chanted the name of Mahavishnu, who came to his Karunyam. He is supreme and above all. Whereas what happened to Hiranyakashipu? Duality, likes and dislike, due to his karmic cycle of papam and punyam, disliked Mahavishnu and was finally torn apart by the Lord Narasimha for the sake of his devotee, Prahlada. So we have to understand that. In the verse 27, we need to understand that we have to overcome the duality, the like and the dislike. In verse 28, Bhagavan says, what is the qualification of the one who is trying to seek the truth? What should be the qualification? If somebody wants to seek the truth, what should be the qualification? The qualification is the person should start increasing his virtues, start doing good deeds, and start reducing the papas. The sin which we think is not the nature of the man. Nobody is born with the sin. It is only thing is, we are the one with our mind and intellect which is hankering on all the sense pleasure, which is the root cause which is making us to be sinful. So it is we who have to break this chain of vasana, thought and action. And we should start the new meritorious life. Let's start from the small things. Not that we have to, let's start. We know that if this is bad, when we realize we should stop doing it, that is more important. Only such kind of a person whose mind is prepared and he has removed all the negativities from his mind, then only such person is the one who is qualified to seek the truth. In verse 29, what is Bhagavan talking about? He says that, okay, now that you have understood that we should be overcoming the likes and dislikes, we shouldn't what? So, but what is that? What should be the motive of a person who is going to meditate upon the self? Bhagavan says that somebody who is going to meditate upon the self will be liberated from the cycle of the birth and the death forever. His divine grace, they will receive the Brahma Gyan, a knowledge of Brahman, Atma Gyan, or the knowledge of the self, and the entire field of the karmic action or the divine law of karma, one will get over. The last verse, continuing with the same idea and expressing how a man of wisdom is a man of all efficiency. Bhagavan says, not only does the man of realization understand the unexpected events of the mind and the nature, but he also gains a perfect knowledge of the world of object. We will come to know about the world of object, which is called as Adi Bhuta, and the secret behind the working of the sense organ, mind and intellect, which is called as Adi Devam, and the condition under which all perception, physical, mental and intellectual, which is called as Adi Jnanam, can take place. They will know me even at the time of the death. Who will know Bhagavan even at the time of the death? Those who know the Adi Bhuta, Adi Devam and Adi Jnanam will know the Bhagavan even at the time of the death. I'm not going to elaborate because of the shortage of the time. I was already been warned that it is 7:55 when I took over. So I'll just quickly, all of you, majority of you must be knowing the story of Jadabharata. The king at the time of the death, he was thinking of the deer. So he took the rebirth as a deer. After many births and the completion of his karmic action, he attained moksha. So we should understand that it should be in a complete, true faith that we should be able to connect to the God, then only we will be able to understand Him. Mere knowledge is not of any use. Knowledge can be imparted, but wisdom cannot be given. Two closing stanzas of this chapter do not by themselves explain all the terms used in them. They represent the summary of the coming chapter, that is chapter 8. So in short, the chapter closes with the total assertion, he who knows me knows everything. He is a man who will come to guide the destiny of the world, not only in his time, but also in the other yugas. Thank you so much, and thank you for your patience listening. This was a very, very humble attempt from our side. Thank you all.
We thank the Vice Principals of Chinmaya Vidyalayas for explaining the verses of chapter 7 and helping us to understand the essence of Jnana Vijnana Yogya. Now we have the Swaranjali team of Chinmaya Vidyalayas, Taylor's Road, rendering a few divine bhajans.
वनमाली वासुदेवा मनमोहन राधा रमणा वनमाली वासुदेवा मनमोहन राधा रमणा शशिवदना सरसि जनयना जगन्मोहन राधा रमणा शशिवदना सरसि जनयना जगन्मोहन राधा रमणा वनमाली वासुदेवा பார்க்கடலில் பள்ளி கொண்ட பரந்தாமா ராதா ரமணா, பார்க்கடலில் பள்ளி கொண்ட பரந்தாமா ராதா ரமணா, பக்தர்களின் குறை தீர்க்கும் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, பக்தர்களின் குறை தீர்க்கும் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, வெண்ணையுண்ட மாயவனே கண்ணாணி ராதா ரமணா, வெண்ணையுண்ட மாயவனே கண்ணாணி ராதா ரமணா, வேண்டுவரம் தந்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வேண்டுவரம் தந்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, மனமோகன ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, மனமோகன ராதா ரமணா, சசிவதனா சரசி ஜனயனா, ஜெகன்மோகன ராதா ரமணா, சிவதனா சரசி ஜனயனா, ஜெகன்மோகன ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, கடலில் பள்ளி கொண்ட பரந்தாமா ராதா ரமணா, பார்க்கடலில் பள்ளி கொண்ட பரந்தாமா ராதா ரமணா, கடலில் குறை தீர்க்கும் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, பக்தர்களின் குறை தீர்க்கும் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, வெண்ணையுண்ட மாயவனே கண்ணாணி ராதா ரமணா, வெண்ணையுண்ட மாயவனே கண்ணாணி ராதா ரமணா, வேண்டுவரம் தந்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வேண்டுவரம் தந்திடுவாய் ஸ்ரீரங்க ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா, மனமோகன ராதா ரமணா, வனமாலி வாசுதேவா. चरण कमलमिह मनसिल सतु मम नित्यम्, गरुड गमन तव चरण कमलमिह मनसिल सतु मम नित्यम्, मनसिल सतु मम नित्यम्, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, जल जनयन विधि नमुचि हरण मुख विभुत विनुत पद पद्मा, जल जनयन विधि नमुचि हरण मुख विभुत विनुत पद पद्मा, विभुत विनुत पद पद्मा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, जगसयन भव मदन जनक भव जनन भरण भयहारी, भुजगसयन भव मदन जनक मम जनन भरण भयहारी, जनन भरण भयहारी, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, शंख चक्रधर दुष्ट दैत्य हर सर्वलोक शरणा, शंख चक्रधर दुष्ट दैत्य हर सर्वलोक शरणा, सर्वलोक शरणा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, अगणित गुणगण अशरद शरदन विदलित सुरळि पुजाला, अगणित गुणगण शरण शरणन विदलित सुरळि पुजाला, विदलित सुरळि पुजाला, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा, वैर्यमिह भूरि करुणया पाहि भारती तीर्थम्, भक्तवैर्यमिह भूरि करुणया पाहि भारती तीर्थम् पाहि भारती तीर्थम् मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा मम तापमपा गुरुदेवा तापमपा गुरुदेवा ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदक्ष्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
A humble request to all the devotees to collect the prasadam before you leave the hall. Thank you.
Hari Om parents, thank you so much for the